Thomas.
Yes.
Where are you?
I'm in Vermont.
No.
And I'm not sorry.
Drinking maple syrup.
Well, God, I'd hope not.
I am. We just got
Noah
a fresh gallon, and I played 2 Noah Kahn songs at my gig on Friday.
Ooh.
That sounds sick.
I don't remember where I was, but I definitely saw someone with a Noah Kahn shirt on. I'm like, that reminds me of Gun.
His hometown is like on the other side of like the hill, basically, that's next to my parents' house.
Love it.
Yeah.
One of 2 towns in Vermont.
Yeah. All 2 of them.
I like how I said Vermont.
Vermont.
Too. I don't know why I did that. Welcome back, everybody, to another episode of the Common Ground Podcast, your favorite podcast where we talk about your favorite format, Pauper. This is episode 28. I am your co-host, Cameron Schindler, joined as always by the lovely Thomas Gunn. How's it going, buddy?
It's going all right. We worked our way through some technical difficulties from afar, and now we're here. And I'm vibing. I'm in Vermont. We're doing a bunch more farm work. And this is
Vermont
like the quickest like turnaround time from like the last time we've recorded to the next time we've recorded. So I'm excited.
Y'all are still fresh on my brain. I am also joined, or we are joined, by our other lovely co-host, James Hippo Hieronymus.
Man, this casting couch is comfortable.
You're welcome.
Oh
I know,
my
we can get
goodness.
used to this. Get a couch. We were talking about once Thomas gets back, setting up a little studio. We should like, bring some seats over or something, or like gaming chairs, or a couch, something.
I'm into it.
Yeah, this is comfortable.
Heck yeah. Anyway, I have a quick non-magic rant. Everything in my life is falling apart. And I mean like everything.
Oh, buddy.
Like already the stuff I moved to an apartment. Like that was a whole fiasco. That went pretty smoothly actually. That was fine. I haven't had a washer and dryer yet cuz I'm renting one through Appliance Warehouse. So shout out to them. Y'all aren't my favorite right now. So I get the washer and dryer. The guy just shows me how it works, turns it on, turns it off. It's working fine. I go to do a load of laundry. It will not fill up. Like, it won't get past the auto sensing line. So it won't fill up with any water at all. And, like, I try to Google it. I tried turning it off, turning it back on, unplugging it, all that fun stuff. And everyone's, like, on Google is like, it's a faulty blah, blah, blah. So it's like, I waited this long to get the washer. And the soonest somebody can come is June 19th. So it's like, I better not pay for this month of renting it because it's like, I'm not using it. So that happens. I try to log in. I already submitted a maintenance form, so I try to log in today again just to check on it. And it's like, you have to change your email and your password. And I'm like, why? But anyway, I change it to a backup email. And then as soon as I do that, it takes me back to the same page. I need to change my email again. So I'm stuck in this infinite loop of changing my email. That's annoying. I tried to log in the Discord today to talk to y'all. And, well, Hippo's next to me, but to get connected with Mr. Thomas. And it's like, you need to verify your phone number. I type in my phone number, and it's like, that's not a real phone number. And I'm like, yes, it is. That's my phone number. And so I tried doing it on mobile, on my computer. It just will not accept my phone number. I got new tire. I got a tire today, and I need to get an alignment too. Just tilt, man. Life is angry.
I understand.
God.
Well, we love you, and we hope it all gets
Thomas,
better.
are you doing better than us?
I mean, kind of at a rock bottom of sorts, but everything else in my life is pretty good. So I really can't complain.
That's good. I know.
But hey, we have Magic the Gathering to take away all of our sorrows.
So I can lose some more.
And not play yet another month of Pauper.
Dude, I know. So our next monthly event will be July 13th, I think. And I'm out for another friend's wedding that weekend. So it will be 3 months in a row where I don't get to play Pauper, except for this Friday. Somebody locally is hosting a little Pauper event, so I'm excited for that and get to play some MH3 cards.
Yeah.
I'm gonna play some Mardu synthesizer there. But anyway, today we have a topic episode to discuss. We kind of came to the table with some MH3 brews, and I think we tried to take it from a different perspective of not just. I didn't want to talk Mardu synthesizer because all it really is kind of like the Boro shell you expect, slotting in refurbished familiar. So I didn't really want to talk about that because that's not very interesting.
I mean, I'm not to say that mine's like a particularly new deck, but it's got some new cards in it.
Fair enough. But who wants to start us off?
I know Gun's pretty excited about his list. Would you like to start us off?
Oh, I was hoping I could go last, personally.
Okay, I'll go first.
Okay.
I'll present to the class first. So, I brewed around the card Basking Broodscale. Just for those aren't familiar, it is a 1 green creature Eldrazi Lizard, 2/2. Devoid, 1 green, adapt 1. Whenever 1 or more +1/+1 counters are put on this card, you may create a 0/1 colorless Eldrazi spawn creature token. With sacrifice this creature, add a colorless. So that goes infinite with the enchantment Sadistic Glee. For 1 and a black, Sadistic Glee is an enchant creature aura. Whenever a creature is put into a graveyard from play, put a +1/+1 counter on enchanted creature. So to get the combo started, you just need to enchant the Basking Broodscale and put a +1/+1 counter on the Broodscale somehow, either with its adapt ability or something else. So I kind of went heavy in the creature combo in this brew. I thought there would be like 2 ways to approach this. You could either go like all in, fast, like Dark Ritual, Lotus Petals, Wild Nikado. Wait, not Wild Nikado. What's that card called?
Which card?
The hybrid Gruul sack it out of color.
Oh, Wild Cantor?
Wild Cantor, okay. I decided not to go that route, though, just because it has the explosiveness, but it doesn't have, like, the consistency, because for the true combo to work, it is kind of like a 3-piece combo.
Yeah, it's just like a little bit of acceleration and not actually, like, contributing to anything else in the combo.
Yeah, it's because the combo does work with Broodscale and the Aura, but that just makes an infinite dude, and sometimes that's not good enough. Like, people have blockers, people have kill spells. So I took it with the route of Thought Picker Witch, which is a 1 black, so a black mana for a 1/1 creature human wizard. You can pay a mana, sacrifice a creature, look at the top 2 cards of target opponent's library, and then remove 1 of them from the game. And this is just a way to dump the infinite mana and the infinite spawns into winning the game, because you can just exile your opponent's library, pass a turn, and they don't have a library to draw from. So you kind of present the loop with the Broodscale and the enchantment, and you'll always have 1 spawn. You'll have infinite mana, and you pay 1 with the Thought Picker Witch, sacrifice the spawn, that'll trigger the enchantment, make a new one, and then you exile 1 of the cards, and you're back from restarted, and you have the infinite mana already. Hopefully that was understandable.
Yeah, makes sense.
Shall I go through the whole list real quick? You want me to read it off?
Go for it.
So, it is 4 Basking Broodscales, 4 Mesmeric Fiends. I kind of took inspiration from the Mogwarts combo there.
I like that.
Yeah, I like that too.
4 Rebel Maverick, because it lets you surveil too, and you can get some pieces in the graveyard if you need to, and that works well with the Unearth later, and the 2 Slitherheads that are in here. So this is a weird card. It is just a 1 mana 1/1, but it's scavenge for 0. So if you dump this in the graveyard while you're digging through your combo, it lets you start the combo without adapting, and you can just pay 0. 3 Thought Picker Witch.
It's pretty sick, actually.
Isn't that kind of a
Yeah, I like it a lot.
Yeah. And for sorceries, I have 9 Commune with the Gods. That's just to find the enchantments and the creatures. So it looks at 5, and it can pick any piece of the combo. It puts everything else in the yard, and you have the Unearths to get the creatures back. Hopefully you could hit the Rumble Maverick or the Scavenge Creature. Those are like the best ways to get the combo started. I have one Malevolent Rumble from the new set. It is just another way to... It only looks at 4, but it does make a spawn. And this is just the other way to get any permanent I want. I was saying about Grizzly Salvage, but I couldn't get the enchantment with the Grizzly Salvage, only the creatures. And once the enchantment's in the yard, there's not a way to pick up the enchantment. That's like one flaw I've already kind of found in the shell. 4 Unearth. Obvious reasons. It recurs your graveyard. 4 Deadly Dispute. Help dig for that combo. 1 Eviscerator's Insight. Just because if you mill it over, you get that flashback. I thought that's cute. 1 Fanatical Offering. It makes a map token, so...
It does it can potentially put a +1/+1 counter on a creature.
Yeah. 1 Season of Renewal. So I thought this would be a cute fun of. It is 2 and a green instant. Choose one or both. Return target creature card from your graveyard to your hand. Return target enchantment card from your graveyard to your hand. So this is the only way to get the enchantment back to your hand. So maybe you try to do the combo, it got stopped on their instep. You can play this, pick up the combo again.
That isn't so. The card, the enchantment that is part of the combo, is an aura, correct?
Correct.
Okay.
I thought about doing white, but the mana's
hideous. I agree. That's it just sparked a thought of like, was it Heliod's Pilgrim, which is a 2 and a white for a 1/2 that you can, when it enters the battlefield, you can tutor for an aura.
Oh yeah, that's just another way. But you have like the Commune of Gods and the Malevolent Rumbles to hopefully find it.
Just something that popped in my head.
Yep. So after that Season of Renewal, there's 4 Snakeskin Veils. This does 2 things. It protects the combo, and it puts the counter on the Rumble Maverick if needed. 4 Ichor Wellsprings. Help dig for the combo with the Deadly Dispute effects. Draw you some cards. Look for those pieces you need. And 4 Sadistic Glee. That aura that we refer to as the aura. Because none of us can remember his card name. Mana base. I'm only running 15 lands. Nothing too crazy. A few artifact lands. 2 rot farms. 15 feels very, very, very low.
Yeah.
It does.
Yeah, I should probably bump that.
Low.
I ran it through like the Moxfield percentages and stuff, and it's like you're supposed to cast everything on curve still, because like you really don't need more than 3 mana. So if you can find those first 2 lands and figure it out from there, you're good.
I think if you want to go that low on
That's
lands,
fair.
maybe you want to up your Malevolent Rumble count as opposed to, I don't know, maybe like Fanatical Offerings in the board, or like you go like maybe a 3-2 split of some number Commune versus Malevolent Rumble. That way you have like a couple other ways to get lands if you really need one. I don't know.
Yeah, I like that. From the spawn you're talking
I guess
about.
you are also making some spawns here and there, so you might be okay.
And just goldfishing this, it can be difficult to find all 3 pieces in a timely manner. Keeping hands, you almost want something with 2 combo pieces. You could be tempted to keep like 1 or 0 combo pieces and like 2 Commune of the Gods or like a Deadly Dispute, but you're not guaranteed to find anything. So I don't think this deck has the consistency. This is something I would like to put together though and just play against y'all and see how it works and see if it has legs.
Well, this does have the backup plan of being just a dopey creature deck. You can just attack for like 1 and 2 damage across the board.
Yeah, I
know it doesn't feel good, but it's a thing you can do.
Your biggest creature is the Basking Broodscale, not Root Wall. Once you adapted, so it's like
3/3 or whatever.
Yeah, so it's like I feel like this deck doesn't have a good backup plan, and you kind of fold to graveyard interaction.
Oh, you are not gonna like my deck then with my 4 pieces of main deck graveyard interaction.
That's wild. I guess the combo still works through like a relic or anything because nothing's coming back from the graveyard. You would just, it wouldn't work through something like permanent, like if something would die, exile instead.
Yeah, that makes sense.
But Pauper doesn't really have that. It's just like one of like Nala Spell Bombs, relics and stuff. So really graveyard removal isn't crazy against this deck.
No, but I also have a second. The same card also stops your game plan.
Oh, that's
it kills
funny.
the aura.
When goldfishing this deck, it was pretty fun to like play the Rubber Belt Maverick, dump a Thought Picker Witch, or not. Yeah, say a Thought Picker Witch, dump a Slitherhead, and like you have the Unearth, and you just like keep digging through these, and it with the Unearth, it just feels like it's glued together a little bit more because you can pick up one combo piece with the Commune of Gods, dump the other one, and be able to get it back. Also a fun trick, if you weren't aware of this, you can Mesmeric Fiend somebody, and with that trigger on the stack, you can sack it, and they won't get their card back. Because how the old wording works is once, as soon as it leaves the field, it'll try to give them the card back. It'll see there's no card. You'll resolve that effect, then the Mesmeric effect, and then you'll take the card forever.
Yeah, this is a trick I used to do in Modern. That was like my jam.
It works with like O-Ring.
It works with in the deck that I'm talking about for Modern that I played, it worked with Tide Hollow Sculler.
Ah, yeah.
That was
same thing.
That was the big one for me. It's the same, basically the same card. Mine's a 2-mana 2/2, yours is a 2-mana 1/1.
So like comparing this with Mogwarts, I don't know if this is doing something Mogwarts isn't, because I feel like Mogwarts can kill you a little better with its backup plan.
Mogwarts has a direct tutor in the deck with Matron, so that's kind of your downfall where you don't have that.
Yeah, that's the problem. Like
what are the CMCs needed for all those cards?
So Thought Picker Witch is 1.
Okay.
Rubble Belt Maverick. Oh, whoops, not that card.
What about the Broodscale in the Aura?
Broodscale's 2, Aura's 1. So in total 4.
No, what I was trying to see if there was a common thing that you could like play some transmute card for.
Oh, you could transmute something for 2 to pick up. Oh wait, no, that just picks up the Broodscale. You would need transmute for 1, which is not a thing.
Correct. No, there is transmute for 1. It's in different colors.
Oh, okay.
There's like Dizzy Spell, which is actually played in the Tireless Tribe deck. Fun fact.
Oh, so like the hardest part of this deck is getting all 3 on the board. But I feel like once you have the pieces, it's pretty resilient with the Unearths, with the Snakeskin Veils, with the Fiends clearing the way. It's just, unlike Mogwarts, you don't have that direct tutor in Goblin Matron.
Yeah, Goblin Matron either tutors for your win condition, like you're at, like once you've assembled the combo, then you can tutor for an actual win condition like the Invoker or however you'd like to go about it. But yeah, this one's...
You're really at the mercy of your Commune with Gods, your Rumble, and your Deadly Dispute effects.
Makes sense.
Class time is over. I will link this one in the episode description.
Cool. Man, this sounds sweet. I mean,
it does look sweet.
It does seem like it's really hard to like stop it once it happens.
Yeah, I feel like it's a fun like bring to your locals kind of thing.
Yeah.
I don't think it's gonna be like this is gonna take down Pauper again next weekend.
No.
Or is it next weekend or the weekend after?
It's next weekend, I believe.
Cool.
Or is it this coming weekend?
Who knows?
I like that it's another Unearth deck. I want more Unearth decks in the format. It's such a sweet card, and it fits in really, really nicely here.
I tried... I guess another thought I had that I didn't explore as well is what if I just took the Golgari Dredge Shell and just threw this combo in there? It's just too hard to get the Sadistic Glee, and then you could say, yeah, maybe we put Commune of Gods in there too because it can find you it, as well put cards in the yard. But as you've seen from that deck, it plays like 36 creatures. So I feel like as soon as you start putting 4 auras in there, 4 sorceries in there, it's just diluting that deck's really strong game plan.
Yeah, when you were talking about some of the cards that were like in the deck, I'm like, that sounds like the Dredge Shell. But yeah, you're just kind of diluting, as you mentioned, just diluting what the Dredge Shell is actually trying to do on a backup plan.
Maybe this deck could play like 3 trolls to fix its horrendous mana.
Could play some trolls. Could also play some of the the Writhing Necromass. Is that the card? Is that the like Dominaria make one? It gets cheaper for each creature in your yard.
Yep.
Oh, I know what you're talking about. Yeah,
you could just play that as a backup card. It's a 5/5 with that, or a 5/5 with Death Touch, I think.
Yeah, but that's not bad.
Because I mean, you're gonna mill over creatures with like all your effects that you're talking about, and so it's just a fine card you could put in your deck. It's just a backup plan. It's a big dude. Also, put a Slitherhead counter on it. It's a 6/6 with Death Touch. Not much beating that in the format.
I guess. What I was saying with trolls. There we go. There's that thought. It wouldn't be bad if like add 3 trolls, kind of fix the mana a little bit, and then maybe you can fit in a few copies of Dread Return, and then you can either get your combo pieces or get that backup troll plan.
Do you have enough creatures for Dread Return to make sense?
Only 17, so probably
That's
not.
Probably not what you're looking for. Though.
And 7 of them
Unearth
are
is way
combo
better.
pieces.
Yeah, one of those. Or I like the Unearth because the Unearth you can always just cycle if you don't need it. But yeah, I think you could put more creatures in your deck and maybe be less intent on the combo and just let the combo happen, like just naturally happen. Like you don't need to search for the thing, which again leads you to the dredge shell basically.
Yeah, see, the problem with that is, like, if you're not searching for this combo, it's already really hard to find.
Yeah.
So I feel like if you're like, let's just let it happen, you're going to draw, like, Sadistic Glee or the Witch, where it's like, wow, this card's awful.
That's entirely fair.
All right, Thomas.
Oh, he wants to go last.
Oh, you want to go last?
Yes, please.
Yeah, Thomas wants to go last. All right. So I didn't get super innovative, but don't fix it if it isn't broken. I know I talked it kind of on several different cards last week about the mono white like aggressive shell that we currently have in the Pauper format. And so I really didn't do much innovation, but I did add some cards from the new set that I think make a lot of sense in this deck. And I'll just kind of read you off my list. And the two cards that I'm specifically referring to are the kite, the 1-mana kite that has living weapon and gets +1/+1 and flying, and then you can pay 4 mana to move it around as an equipment. And then I have Thraben Charm in the deck as well. So starting off, we got four Skyfisher. It's this class. This is the staple of almost all white decks, aside from exactly the Gates deck. 6 Inspectors. I kind of trimmed down to 6 because I kind of wanted to play around with some of these new cards a little bit more and have some room for the cards that were already good in the deck to begin with. I've got 4 Battle Screech because that's kind of the reason to play this deck. 4 Rafine's Informant. The card is good. It's really good if you stick the equipment onto it. Makes it a 4/2 or 4/3 flyer. That's kind of pretty impressive. And then we got 4 Thraben Charm. This is the card we were talking about. This is 1 in a colorless for an instant. Deal twice the number of creatures you control to target creature. Exile target player's graveyard, and then destroy target enchantment. So against Cameron, this will kind of destroy your whole game plan. This singular card, which just destroy your game plan, it seems like. But I think the card is cool in this deck. It has a lot of creatures, so it's going to do a lot of damage. It doesn't really matter how big the creature is. But having some flexibility in the other 2 modes is really nice, where you would have, in theory, in this kind of slot, played something like Destroy Evil, really kind of the only other like equivalent to this card. Then we got 4 Militia Bugler. The card just tutors for the deck, aside from like the non-creature stuff, but it hits all the rest of the creatures in the deck. Super sweet. I got 4 Guardian Pledge. It's another one of the big reasons to play this deck. It's overrun. Your opponents will die. 4 Squadron Hawk. I'm only playing 3 Kite because, again, its effect is good when you want it. It's not like overly exciting on its own. It's just a 1/1 flyer on its own. I think really the boon of playing this card is that it gives that flying onto basically any of your ground creatures, like the Rafine's Informant, or it makes your like core Skyfishers into like some like winning the core Skyfisher war. Really is kind of the idea. And then 3 Prismatic Strands. Got to be able to protect our creatures.
And your face.
Yeah, in my face.
Your beautiful face.
Yeah, this is and then the land base is the cleanest thing you've ever seen. 17 plains, 3 Idyllic Grange. For those who don't know what Idyllic Grange is, it is one of the lands from Throne of Eldraine, and when it comes into play, if you control 3 or more plains, you may put a +1/+1 counter on target creature. One nifty thing in this deck that you can do is you can pick up that land with core Skyfisher and replay it and get some value off of it. So it's pretty sweet. Another card that is not from this set but did cross my mind when building this list, or really copying this list, adding some cards to it, but is the Eagles of the North. I think that is an interesting thing you could be doing. Again, it's another flyer. It pumps your team. It kind of does like the thing that the mono white deck already is looking to do. It goes, well, yeah, that's true, but also it goes and finds Idyllic Grange. You can go tutor for it, which is kind of cool. And then obviously your sideboard would include some, all the white fixins that you would get, like your dust to dusts and so on and so forth.
Oh yeah, we know what sideboards look like.
Again, not reinventing the wheel here. I'm just taking what's already been done and trying to add some new cards and make it a little bit better. One notable inclusion, really is the biggest one for this list, is not playing Journey to Nowhere in my list. That's why I replaced with Thraben Charm, just to get a card in there that does something else other than just kill a thing.
I like that. It's a lot more flexible.
Yeah, I am a huge fan of modal cards in general, so this ticks all the boxes for me.
Did you have Beagler in there? Beagle Boy?
Yeah, there's Militia Beagler in the deck. I think that card's very good. I got strap the kite onto that. It's just a 3/4 with flying. It's pretty, and vigilance. It's pretty good.
Yeah, that's a body. So the new cards, there were Thraben Charms.
Thraben Charms and the kite.
The kite. Okay, just those two.
Yeah, just those two. I think those are the two most impactful ones, really.
For mono white.
For this particular show. Yeah.
I think that Hex Gold Slith is pretty good.
Yeah, that is a card that I think could be good. I think I just would want more energy cards along with it. It being a Slith is cool. Yeah, I just find it a little more difficult to get across to deal direct damage with it, and it not be just the first thing that's blocked regardless, and you only have the 2 energy in the deck.
It has the first strike once.
It has first strike one time. So
I get it. They could chump it.
Yeah, and then it just kind of looks silly after that.
But it's just a 2/1 attacker is not amazing.
So yeah, you would need something like the kite to make it really good, I think, in this deck, and also you just need more energy. I think that card works in something more energy focused where it can put that to use.
Yeah, I think.
And speaking of energy focused, Thomas, how about your list?
Well, I was gonna say,
I had a question
think
about
that
yours.
the 2/1 is just a terrible stat line in Pauper right now in general, because all of the threats out of mono red are 1/2s, and he just trades so unprofitably because you're probably paying 2 mana for your thing that trades with their 1-drop, and it just dies to all the cheap early defiles, any burn spell. I think a 2/1 is a really, really dangerous stat line these days.
You just want to dodge mono red.
A 2/1 ground creature, I think, is even worse.
Yeah.
You just got to stay out of a loser's bracket, though. If you don't want to play against mono red. No, I'm kidding. Mono red's doing fine.
Mono red's fine. So yeah, I think this might be something I play. We'll see. I could get behind it, for real, not just for content purposes. I think this is a sweet one. Just not reinventing the wheel. It's just a good deck that already exists, and I wanted to try some new cards in it.
We were talking, Hippo, before. You said you feel like Glint Hawk was a little underwhelming in this show.
Yeah, so my initial draft of this list did have Glint Hawk, and I'm like, wow, I really only have the kite and the clue tokens off of the Thraben Inspectors to pick up for Glint Hawk. And I'm like, well, that kind of defeats the purpose of playing the Glint Hawk. There's not really an additional value, so I did take it out of the list and I had initially taken out Prismatic Strands entirely. That was my plan, was just to go full bore and just get you dead, and have just still maintain the Guardians pledge package along with the Battle Screech and Squadron Hawks rather. But I was like, yeah, this is not quite doing enough for me. I would need 1, maybe 2 more type of artifacts in the deck to make it worth playing Glint Hawk in this particular show. All right. That was me.
No notes.
I was focused on Croissant for a second. Get him dead.
Get him dead.
Mr. Thomas.
That's me.
Thomas.
It's only Thomas.
All right.
It's only Thomas.
Can I talk about this little energy deck? All right.
Oh, lay it on us.
All right. So I, as no one would be surprised, I put together a little energy shell that I really like. I had an earlier version of it. I'll just walk through from the beginning. So we randomly found or chatted about when we were talking about some energy cards last episode. I mentioned Consulate Turret. It's from Aether Revolt. It's a 3-mana artifact. You can tap it to get an energy, or you can tap it to pay 3 energy, and it deals 2 damage to target player. So for folks who were around during OG like Kaladesh and Aether Revolt, there was a deck in that standard called Temur Tower, and we may have referenced it as well. It was centered around the card Dynavolt Tower, which is a rare. It's a 3-mana artifact, and it said whenever you cast an instant or sorcery, you get 2 energy, and then you could pay 5 energy to deal 3 damage to any target. And it was a really, really strong engine, especially in multiples. When you were just casting a tune with Aethers and Harness Lightnings and all sorts of sweet stuff.
What was that card, CMC?
It was 3. Just 3 colorless.
Dang.
Yeah.
What, you're talking about Dynavolt Tower?
Yeah.
It was just 3 colorless. Yeah, but it said whenever you cast like an instant, you gain 2 energy.
Yeah, no, it's really good.
Yeah, it was really sick.
Yeah, the card was super sick. I also played the deck a little bit.
Yeah, the deck was super, super fun.
Sorry, Thomas, I
and,
need to know
No,
what
you're
that
good,
was.
you're good. And so I was like, how can I recreate this feeling, this vibe? And so Consulate Turret is the closest thing to that. So that's where I started. So I started with 4 Consulate Turret as kind of like the win condition of sorts. And then I needed an energy package. So I started with, from the new set, from MH3, I started with 4 Tune the Narrative, which is the blue mana instant draw card. You get 2 energy. That's very, very good, very efficient. And also 4 copies of Galvanic Discharge. It's a red mana instant. Choose target creature or planeswalker. You get 3 energy, and then you pay any amount of energy, and it deals that much damage to that permanent. We talked about it last episode in terms of like how you work out the timing of when you pay the energy. But a lot of the times in Pauper, you're going to have like 1 or 2 energy left over after you've destroyed the or dealt all the damage you need to your opponent's creature. So this can often go up in energy as well, and it's also a really efficient kill spell that if you bank some energy, you can kill some bigger stuff as well. And then from previous energy sets, I am also playing 4 Attune with Aether. This is the green mana sorcery. Search your library for a basic land, reveal it, put it in your hand, shuffle your library. You get 2 energy, and Woodweaver's Puzzle Knot, which is probably it can make the most energy out of 1 card in the deck and in most of Magic, honestly. It's 2 mana for an artifact. When it enters battlefield, you gain 3 life and get 3 energy. And for 2 and a green, you can sacrifice it to do the same thing. Gain 3 life, get 3 energy. So I knew that those 20 cards were going to be like my primary energy package in terms of just like having like reliable, consistent energy, and Turret being like a way I wanted to use the energy to defeat my opponents. And so that left me with like kind of a teamer shell. So I also threw in 4 copies of Aether Spike, which is the new counter spell. It's 1 in a blue. Choose target spell. It's an instant. You get 2 energy, and then you can pay any amount of energy, and it counters the spell unless it's the controller pays 1 for each energy paid this way. And similarly to Galvanic Discharge, you can end up in some spots, hopefully, where you can walk away with an extra energy out of the deal. If like early game, it's on turn 2, you counter their 2-drop, then like you get to bank an energy off of this. So that can come up as well. And so with this, I was trying to figure out what was the best way to both stay alive and consistently like get to enough energy. And I started off with 4 Lightning Bolts. They're still in the deck. Lightning Bolt is a solid card. It also can go upstairs to help you turret your opponent down a little faster. And I also played 4 copies. I'm currently playing 4 copies of Sage of Shayla's Claim. I originally didn't really want to play any creatures because I didn't want to turn on my opponent's creature removal like at all. But I decided I needed something to like gum up the ground. It's one of the most efficient energy generators in the format that we have available to us. So I played it. It's 1 in a green for a 2/1, and it's very simple. Enter the battlefield, get 3 energy. So just very, very simple. And then beyond that, that was kind of my initial build, and I tried some Lorien Revealeds as ways to like draw cards into late game, and also playing the Lord of the Rings Cycler goes really well with the Lord of the Rings land cyclers go really well with Attune with Aether, so that you have more copies of lands in your deck than are actually lands, so that I can just fit in as many of these energy payoffs as possible, and energy generators. And so I originally tried that, But the Lorien Reveals just weren't really doing anything. And I did also have 2 copies. The mana base was funky. The mana base is much better now, but the mana base was funky in my first draft. I was also playing 2 copies of Jolted Awake as the only white card in the deck. It's the 1 white mana for a sorcery. You choose up to 1 target artifact or creature card in your graveyard. You get 2 energy. Then you may pay an amount of energy equal to that card's mana value, and then if you do, return it from your graveyard to the battlefield, and worst case, you can cycle it for 2. So I was playing that initially as just a way to, like, because right now there's a lot of there's some amount of artifact destruction in terms of, like, Smash to Smithereens, Ancient Grudges, like, things like that, so you can rebuy your Consulate. You can get your Consulate Turret back if they destroy it. You can get your Woodweaver's Puzzle Knot back out of the graveyard after you sacrifice it, so then you go up energy on that exchange, and you gain a bunch of extra life doing that. And so that was kind of my initial plan. But I realized very quickly that Jolted Awake was very good, and I needed a plan B that was not just Consulate Turret, because either, what if my opponent just, like, gains a bunch of life faster than I can shock them once or twice a turn, or, what if they stick a threat that I have a hard time killing and something like that. And so I decided to revamp the deck. Instead of playing 4 Lorien Revealed as my initial, like, land fetching cards, I'm instead playing 4 Generous Ents, which is much better as a forest-based mana base in order to consistently cast Attune with Aether, and be able to sacrifice the Woodweaver's Puzzle Knot, also to cast the 2/1. So now we're up to 4 Jolted Awake and a full 4 Generous Ent, and they've been very, very impressive in my, like, limited gold fishing. Like, I did maybe, like, 2 dozen, like, mock games of just, like, gold fishing and just, like, like, oh yeah, I block this, they kill this, and just, like, but, like, the being able, I had Generous Ents in play by, like, turn 3 in several games, and it seemed very strong.
That's pretty impressive.
So the whole list right now is 4 Generous Ent, 4 Sage of Shayla's Claim, that's the 2/1 with 3 energy, 4 Attune with Aether, 4 Jolted Awake, 4 Aether Spike, that's the counterspell. 4, this is the one card I didn't talk about yet, 4 copies of Experimental Augury. It's from 1, it's 1 in a blue, instant. Look at the top 3 cards of your library, you put 1 into your hand, the rest on the bottom, and it has Proliferate. So it's an Anticipate with Proliferate, which in this deck just means Anticipate, get an energy, which is pretty sick. And it also can help us dig to our Jolted Awakes, dig to our Consulate Turrets. I really, really like this card. This card has been really good too. So there's 4 copies of that. 4 Galvanic Discharge, which is the kill spell. 4 Lightning Bolts. 4 Tune the Narrative. And our 4 Consulate Turrets and 4 Woodweaver's Puzzle Knots. So 4s all the way down. And we're playing 16 lands, which feels like just about right where I want to be. Because if you count the Attune with Aethers and Generous Ents kind of as lands, then we're rocking at like 24 total. So we have plenty. And this is roughly where I want the sources to be, but it, of course, could change. I might go up a mountain and down an island because there are more red. The sideboard that I have right now is just all red and green cards, so there will be instances where we have more red cards than blue cards post board, so I might switch it up. But right now, it's 5 forests, 3 islands, 2 mountains, 1 plains, and then 5 of the Dominaria United duels that are all forests, so that Generous Ent can get all of your colors. You have 1 Radiant Grove, which is the green-white, 2 Tangled Islet, which is green-blue, and 2 Wooded Ridgeline, which is red-green. And that's the list. It's been super fun in gold fishing. Just having the early angle of attack of just reanimated a giant reach 5/7 that also will gain you 3 life, has been really good. And then just like back that up with just pecking away with turrets until you can, get more ents out. It's been really sick. I genuinely would be interested in putting this together in paper, and making it happen. What are y'all's initial thoughts?
So my first question is really, what would a sideboard for something like this look like?
Sure. So the
got a
sideboard that I have here, I started with 4 Deglammers. I wanted a green-based answer for Affinity. and I like to glamour a lot, especially against the bridges. After that, I wanted to have an additional plan, like a plan C to like board into. So right now I have 4 thermo alchemists in the sideboard, because we're going to be spinning our gears a lot with like extra copies of Attune with Aether, Tune the Narrative, Experimental Augury. So you're like spinning your wheels a lot in the games that I've played out. And so in the decks that where all they see are like the Sages and the Generous Ents, and they just like cut their like early kill spells, like maybe they cut like a couple Defiles out of a black deck or whatever. Like you can bring in these Thermo Alchemists and just keep pinging away, and they go so well with the Consulate Turret plan as well. So it's 4 Deglammers, 4 Thermo Alchemists, 2 Tameo Safekeepings to protect your Generous Ents in the matchups where you really want to lean into that, and they have like cast downs and things like that. 3 Red Elemental Blasts against counter spells, and 2 Breath Weapons against just like as an extra hedge for mono red. Though you gain a lot of life in this deck, which is pretty sick, between the Generous Ents, the Woodweaver's Puzzle Knot. You don't care about blocking with Sage of Shayla. You could just block anything with it and be like, all right, great, cool. So yeah. 2 Breath Weapon, 4 Deglammer, 3 Red Blast, 2 Tameo Safekeeping, 4 Thermo Alchemist. That's kind of where I've started, and that's why I might switch the mana base to like 3 mountains, 2 islands instead of the other way around.
Do you think this deck like struggles to kill?
I don't think so. It's certainly not fast, but I think it can get into like a kill range somewhere in the mid game pretty consistently. Again, I'd be interested to play it against some other stuff and see how it feels. But in the goldfishing I've done, it's felt like at least competitive. Like it can at least like kind of keep up. I don't know if I'd bring this to like a Magic Online challenge, but I would definitely consider bringing this to locals sometime. Like it's super, super fun. That's for sure.
Would you ever like consider putting like the Thermo Alchemist like main board, kind of help with your turrets, get that clock going a little bit faster?
For sure. I think that would just be a meta call, and just like whether you want to expose yourself to more removal in game 1 or not, I think is really the only thing there. But yeah, that's definitely also something I thought about, because also like Jolted Awake just gets it back. You don't need extra energy to Jolted Awake your Thermo Alchemist back out of the graveyard either.
That's true.
No, I like that. I like that the Jolted Awake will also get back the turret. That's pretty sweet.
Yeah. Jolted Awake is
my
so
worry
good.
when I asked about when I asked for the sideboard was you dilute the energy package when you start to bring in sideboard cards. So that was my really only concern there.
That's like the classic issue you'll see with like combo or graveyard decks.
Oh, I know.
Like that's a tough thing.
Yeah, no, it's a tight line to walk. I get it. That's why I was just asking. I was just curious if that was like if that had come up in your thought process at all.
No, absolutely. I think that something like Aether Spike is probably the easiest card to side out, because of all of the cards, it's the one that's most likely to bring you down on energy. And so I think that that's an easy one to cut in some, like especially like against mono red. Like you don't want a 2 mana, like you don't want Quench against mono red, So like that's like an easy cut there. But it's certainly like trying to balance like keeping up with the energy, but also bringing in a card that cares about you still having a bunch of spells. Like that's definitely like a balancing act that I'm interested in figuring out. Like maybe the Sages get cut, because like we can make plenty of energy without the Sages. So they're just there because they're really efficient energy generators, and they'll just block. They'll just block against the aggressive decks.
No, that tracks.
Yeah. But yeah, that is definitely something I thought about. I like looked through. I've been for like 5 days now. My Scryfall has just been, the first thing I do is type like text line, energy counter, legal, Pauper, search, and just like I have that like bookmarked basically. And I did try to find if there were like good side, like is there a naturalized effect that makes energy? Like, do I have access to that? And unfortunately, I don't. So I definitely was thinking about that. Like if there's ways to, make sure that we're still kind of on theme with the energy plan in the board too. But I don't think that's quite going to cut it.
I feel that my Scryfall search is littered with put a +1/+1 counter on target creature. Because I was looking to see if I could do some like counter focus synergy, like play the new Eternal Witness that picks something up whenever it adapts.
Yeah.
But there just isn't like a good repeatable way to put +1/+1 counters and stuff in Pauper. Like there's no like Luminarch Aspirant like Pioneer has, or
Right.
you know.
The only other thing I'll say on this is I did think about if there was an Ancient Stirrings version of this deck that leaned more into doing like strictly Consulate Turret things. And I liked leaning into Jolted Awake ended up being more powerful in what I found just with the limited time I've given this to think about it. But you could potentially make something of a, like, I don't think you can play Tron lands, but you might be able to find, if you can find another good colorless payoff somehow, then Ancient Stirrings is probably pretty good. And then it also does the thing where it helps find your lands if you need it to as well, so you can stick with a low land count. So that was one other thing that I thought about. Maybe you play like Candy Trails and stuff, because that, like, you know, digs you to your pieces and helps keep you alive. And so it was another thing I thought about as well.
We just watched Croissant jump like 6 feet in the air.
I'm missing all the good cat entertainment.
That was wild. Dude, that was wild.
Seems like everyone had some nice thought put into some sweet brews.
I gotta rent this. We should duke it out. We should do some battle.
We should.
It's good. We could
do a little what's the word? Check-in, kind of like a little check-in. Like, you gotta proxy this up.
Yeah, I mean, I'm fairly confident that like my deck would at least be completely fine, like it always is. It's just a fine.
Yeah,
deck.
your deck is easily the most
You
functional
can only
of
be
the
so
three.
bad attacking with cheap creatures.
I mean, it's definitely also the least innovative of the three. I mean, it's just me adding cards to a deck that already exists. It may not be like a tier 1 deck necessarily, but it's a deck that already exists, and I think these cards are cool, or, you know, the cards I added were cool. There was one other card I also had thought about while I was making the list that didn't make the cut, but it was the Palace Sentinel, the Monarch creature.
Mm-hmm.
This deck is incredibly good at taking back the Monarch, I'll tell you that. With all your flying creatures and your Prismatic Strands. It's very easy to take the Monarch back and keep it.
You can only go so wrong playing cheap creatures and turning them sideways.
That's accurate.
Especially when they replace themselves.
I would agree. But yeah, no, I'd be interested to see how these do.
Shall we talk about the Super Qualifier?
Let's do it.
Yeah, the Super Qualifier from this past weekend.
Hit it.
Let's go. All right. So moving over to the Super Qualifier from this past weekend.
Shall I?
We had... Well, I can read it too.
Oh.
Change of pace.
What do you want to read off?
The decks?
I was going to read the top 8 off.
I thought that was my
Tom's
job.
You didn't seem like you wanted to do it, so I was willing
What?
to do it.
No. I was waiting till y'all were ready for it. There's like a little delay.
I've been ready.
So... All right.
I've been
cool.
ready. Let's go.
All right, here we go. All right. Alrighty, this is the Magic Online Pauper Super Qualifier. We decided we definitely want to cover this rather than cover all of the regular challenges, because the new cards are not on Magic Online yet. But by the time we record for next week, this coming weekend's challenges, we'll get to see hopefully a bunch of new cards being played. So we'll definitely talk about all the challenges next week. But we definitely wanted to cover the Super Qualifier. For those who don't know, the Super Qualifier is an event where the top 4 finishers qualify for their respective region's regional championship. So for us here in the U.S., that would be, I believe this is for SCG Con Washington, D.C. in October. So there are 4 invites on the line. The nice thing for the U.S. now, I thought of, is when it was DreamHack doing it, the people who would qualify for the RC with DreamHack doing these events would still have to pay for their own DreamHack ticket. But now, because it's through...
Boo.
I know, that was unfortunate. But now that it's through Star City Games, at least, I don't know what it is for the rest of the countries, but at least for the U.S., there will be no, like, cost to enter. So it's now just a straight-up, just, you know, RC invite, just like winning at a local store. So that's kind of nice. Again, I can't speak to anyone else's country. But let's go over this top 8, and we also have some...
Before we do.
Yeah, what's up?
All these 4 players can join me at the RC.
That's right. Yes, they can.
can join.
I get Nathan Stoyer gets to join the likes of the Hippo.
It's true.
Ooh,
it's true.
he's moving up
you,
in the world.
you queued for the RC before he did.
That's true.
Look at that. We also have some metadata from Kerblinski as per usual that we can go over if we would like. I'm going to read through this top 8 now. We had 203 players on June 8th. In 8th place, Kobayui on Boros Koldatha. This is going to be interesting to talk about. In 7th place, Be New on Cawgates. In 6th place, Zamu on Blue Black Fairies. In 5th place, R. Clint21 on Flickertron. In 4th place, Almost Omniscient on Grixis Affinity. That's a great name. In 3rd place, with a 9-1 record, so they were 9-0 before their loss, Killa SUV on Green White Boggles. I've definitely played against this person in paper, and I believe you have as well, Cameron. I'm not entirely sure. If I remember correctly from letting you know that your opponent was a very good. For a certain round you were playing going into Cincy. In 2nd place...
Was it the Rhinos player that I played?
I know I warned you... I know I gave you a heads up that I knew who your opponent was when it was a Rhinos player. They were on 4-color control when I played against them in Pittsburgh. So I can't quite remember if it was exactly them, but it might have been. I'm not entirely sure.
Okay.
In
the
2nd
long hair?
place... Yeah, long hair from Massachusetts, yeah.
Yep, really nice person. Congrats
Yeah.
on there.
Yeah,
They're
cool.
super cool.
Yeah, they were chill. In 2nd place, I don't know, they've won a world championship, they've won a pro tour. It's Nathan Stoyer on Cawgates. And in 1st place, Mog Flunkies with a 10-1 record with Gruel Panza, baby. We got a first.
Let's go, Panza.
It's a first big
the
win for
former
Panza
world
in a
champion
while.
with Panza. Let's go.
To be fair, that matchup is unwinnable.
Is it
Yeah, I
really?
imagine it's not.
Well, they have also extra copies of, in this particular list, of extra copies of blowing up land effects. Yeah, it's really bad.
Yeah, that's really gross. The reclaiming vines in the winning list.
That's another card. That's the additional one that also just serves as a disenchant.
So 2 green sorcery, destroy target artifact, enchantment, or land. Just 2 more Stonerins.
Yep.
Wild.
Good enough.
Yeah, that would be really hard for Cawgates. They're also playing 1 copy of Crimson Fleet Commodore, which is 3 in a red for a 5/2 trample. When it enters the battlefield, you become the monarch.
Yeah, I mean, it's a nice hit off of any of your Cascade creatures. It also gets the monarch back pretty easily because it has trample.
Yeah, I feel like this deck can struggle getting the monarch back just because, like, if they just kill your one stupid big guy, you're kind of locked out of it.
Yeah.
But this deck runs into the problem of running out of gas hard.
Yeah, once you start top decking lands, you're just like, this is miserable. Or you cascade into like a Utopia sprawl, and it's just the worst feeling on the planet.
Yep.
But no, huge congrats to Mog Flunkies on their big win with Panza. This has been the first since we've been doing this. This is the first event that Panza's won. I think I'm going to go out on a limb and say it's the first event that Panza's won since we started recording.
I can't remember
I
6
think you're
months
right.
back, but it's been a hot while.
We've had a couple creep into top 8, but none able to take it down. We took it out in the super qualifier. That's super sweet.
Let's talk about this Boros Koldatha list in 8th place. This is super sweet. This is kind of playing off of the lists that we talked about when we looked back at Experimental Synthesizer's history about the first weekend that it came out. This is kind of the old, like, merging, taking Koldatha Rebirth and playing it in the Boros synth shell. So they are playing the Rebirths, they're playing a copy of Foundry Helix, they're also playing 4 copies of Goblin Bushwhacker. So really kind of like melding Koldatha Red and the white packages of the Inspectors and Glenhawk Skyfisher to great success here.
I remember the first time that I played the Boros synth deck. This was more in line with what I played. It was a way more aggressive version than the later synth decks. My list didn't play Bushwhacker, but it played Rally the Peasants. But basically the same list overall. This is super sweet.
This is similar to what we're seeing with when glitters was legal too, with Boros glitters.
Yeah. Turns out if you just add the Boros to the whatever the thing it already is, it makes it better.
Yeah, for real.
It just makes it better.
Boros Demir fairies.
Oh yeah, if we just added Boros to whatever, it just makes it better. Oh, 4-color fairies. That sounds great, right?
We got Flickertron here too, doing well. It's always nice to see.
Yeah, that is a Tron master right there. I can tell you, or a Pauper Tron master, I should say. They consistently put up results with this deck, so
it's a hard thing to do too.
Yeah, the deck is really hard to play on Magic Online.
Yeah, its worst enemy is the clock.
I've mentioned that before. This deck is hard to play on Magic Online because it is very slow to win. But so huge congrats to them as well for top 8ing this event, because that deck is incredibly hard to play.
Shall we look at these little stats from Crippling 2?
Yeah,
That's what I was about to, yeah. So generally speaking, so we got out of the 203 players, Cold Author Red was the most played deck with 36 players. That's a little over almost 18% of the meta. However, it did not have a great win rate. As you can see, I mean, it didn't put any copies into top 8. I think there's two lists in top 16, which is fine. There's also a mono red Kiln Fiend list in top 16, which is pretty sick.
Yeah, there was a hot dog stick.
Yeah, nice to see that. Coggates was the second most represented deck with 29 players. That's about 14.2.3%, and they had a decent win rate, about 56%. It looks like the best deck with the best win rate with a reasonable showing was Affinity. It was the 5th most played deck, 13 copies, and had about a 60% win rate.
Wow, that's scary, too, with the help it's going to get.
Yeah, that Familiar is about to blow up that deck.
I would not be surprised if that card got banned.
Absolutely. And Ponza was the 3rd most represented deck.
That's wild, because people were probably just expecting like Coggates to be like the most represented deck of the weekend, if I had to guess, and that deck just kind of... Yeah. Just the natural enemy of that deck, like by a lot.
It has been performing really well in the challenges, so that checks out.
Yeah, someone wanted to spike an event. They're like, "Hey, what deck do I think is going to do the best over the weekend?" And if your answer was Coggates, then Ponza is a absolutely fantastic choice.
Yeah, and it's fat. Like it overall, it only had like a 43.3% win rate out of like all 16 pilots. So if you remove our first place winner, then Ponza only had 31 wins and 51 losses. Like if you remove the first place player, like their win rate goes like way in the tank, like even more. Like that's insane.
Wow.
Like I feel like people, I don't know, like maybe people were prepared. It just they hit good matchups or ran. I mean, they definitely ran hot to 10-1 at Magic tournament, but I mean, I wonder if just like enough of the other pilots just ran into tough matchups.
Just dodge mono red.
Also, I wonder if the addition of the 2 cards we mentioned had anything to do with it as well. I mean, that's not a whole lot. It's only 3 cards, but
that's true.
It does help at least. There's a main deck answer. There's a main deck like Disenchant that is good.
Yeah.
And then adding the Monarch to a game can probably mess with some people as well.
Yeah, it is wild that the first place deck has a 44% win rate.
Yeah, I mean, overall across the number of people that played. Again, I wonder if it's their list specifically that like how they designed it to match up against the field. Because I mean, having Disenchants against like the Affinity deck is huge, right? Like having a main deck Disenchant.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking.
Yeah,
that's really good.
Is it?
I mean, that's got to be good.
For a 4-mana Disenchant skin, Grixis?
Well,
I mean, 4 mana is what Ponza?
It's not that hard to cast 4 mana in Ponza. Like that's kind of the whole point of the deck. It's basically like a 2-mana naturalize in a regular deck.
But I feel like Grixis is the best version of Affinity that can just take that on the nose.
Like, I mean, obviously you'd have to pick your spots like pretty nicely because this is a sorcery too.
Yeah.
So you'd have to pick your spots pretty nicely for it to be good and effective. But I'd imagine that has something to do with it at least. Also, actually, it would have been really strong against their semifinals opponent in the Boggles matchup. That would have been really good.
Yeah, that deck does not run a lot of lands too.
Well, that and then blowing up like a key enchantment, that would have just crumbled the house of cards.
I would chop it up more to not running into like mono red.
Yeah,
and the
probably.
aggressive stuff.
I mean, this deck can beat the other aggressive decks. I mean, you just like ramp out your creatures are bigger than theirs, and you just stop them from doing what they're doing. So yeah, but yeah, you just have to draw well. I mean, you obviously to win a huge tournament like this, you have to run well.
Oh yeah,
you
100%.
can't just play. You're not going to just win off pure skill. That doesn't work. You have to get lucky too.
Otherwise, I'd win every Magic tournament.
Ooh. Ooh.
Oof. Brother, ew.
Ew.
Thomas, thoughts?
No. Head
Excited
empty.
for the shakeup?
I'm just excited to see the new cards personally. This looked
No,
like
I
it was
am
a really fun tournament, like a pretty diverse top 8. There's just 2 copies of Coggates, and then one of everything else is showing here, so that's pretty sick. And a bunch of different, a bunch of variety. There's a Gardens list, an Ephemerate list in top 16, Hot Dogs list in top 16. Like, I bet this was, I was almost going to play this tournament. Unfortunately, I didn't have a little extra funds to cover it, and I had some other stuff come up, but I was considering playing this because being on the road for the summer, I have limited shots at queuing for Washington, D.C. for the RC. So this it's like you really got a high roll, but like, hey, you got to take the shot. So I was considering playing this.
Are you locked for CubeCon?
I don't know if I'm going to CubeCon. It's unlikely.
Yeah, it's expensive to be a Magic player.
Yeah.
Trust me, I'm also in the same boat of I'm not sure if I'm going because it's just overall going to be a very expensive month.
Yeah. That or so you're going to DC.
Yeah, I'm going. Well, I mean, yeah, I should play in this tournament I qualified for.
Probably.
Yeah, probably.
Yeah. Also, I get to catch a sick show while I'm there too. That's just wild.
Who's that?
I get to go. So it's a band I'm not super familiar with, but the idea of them does pique my interest, and I was told they were very good by some friends of ours. It's called The Midnight, and they will be playing on Thursday.
Oh gosh.
So
Nice.
I can get it on Thursday morning, and our buddy Spencer is also going, so we can catch a show. It'd be sick.
That'll be fun.
Yeah, it'd be super fun.
Shall I sign us off?
Let's do it.
If you made it this far, thank you so much for listening to the episode. If you would like to leave us a review. You can do that on Apple Podcasts and or Spotify. If you have any questions for us, you can DM us on Twitter, or you can email them to commongroundmtgpod@gmail.com. Those will be in the description below, as well with our deck lists, at least Thomas and I, unless Hippo wants to give me a online one.
Yeah, I wrote mine out on paper with a pen.
So if you want to give me an online one before sometime, I'll put it in there. And if you don't, I won't. Alrighty. Thank you for listening, everybody.
Peace out.
Later, everyone.
We love you.
What? Sure we do.
I'm never using that word again.
What?
Love.
Oh, oh whatever. Whatever.
It's overrated.